Hello, my name is Robin. This is really about a DNA surprise. Back in 20, I guess it's 2018, I had taken a DNA test through Ancestry.com and got the surprise of a lifetime. Now, so I found out that the woman I thought was my mother is not my mother. And then I found out that, of course, the young lady I thought was my sister is not my sister. So these were rather unfortunate, but it was a wake-up call. And the reason was, it was like I got the double whammy, because as a young man or as a kid, I knew that the people I grew up with were not my biological family. Um, the woman was not my mother. I didn't look like her. And she, as I got older, made that very well known that I was not her child. And that being said, excuse me, the about the age of 10, I decided to start looking for my biological parents. And during that journey of many years, from basically from 10 to my late 20s, well, I was in my late teens when I found out where this woman I thought was my mother, tracked her down, and then had a relationship with her years later, waited in my late 20s, and then from there on up until 2005, I believe, or 2007, I think, 7 or 8, she passed away, and I was content with the fact that I thought this woman was my mother. Turns out that is not the case. I did my DNA, and it turns out this woman, and I'm glad she took the lack of this knowledge to her grave, because I think it would have been too much for her to bear. But found out that she's not my biological mother, and in fact another woman, and that I have 7 other siblings. So my biological mother had 8 kids, 9 kids, 8 of which survived. So I took this test, and so that's kind of thrown things out of whack for me. But that being said, there's a good side to the story, and that is I now know who she is through the DNA. And what it did is it told me what my ethnic background was, because that's all I really wanted. I just wanted to know what my ethnic background was, and it said initially that my ethnic background was I thought that I was German, Irish, and turns out that that's not the case. There is some German ethnicity, and according to my DNA, and but the real stunner was the fact that it shows up as 20% Irish, and that was what really got my attention, was that I'm part Irish. So what I did is, there were matches. People had a close match. There was a first cousin, and I contacted him. There was a second cousin. That second cousin also had the same last name. So it turns out the second cousin is my first cousin's daughter. And then I reached out to them, and then I was told that by the father, my first cousin, that in fact he is not my first cousin. He is my nephew, and that his mother is my biological sister, or half-sister. So that was pretty interesting. There is also, what happened there is, I gotta get my thoughts straight on this, is that I made contact with him. I talked to my sister, his mother, and we had a wonderful conversation. I wrote her a letter. No, I take that back. I wrote her a letter first and gave her a couple weeks to digest it, because she's 20 years older than I am, so she's getting up there age-wise. And so I wanted to make sure that she, wasn't over. I didn't want to stress her out, and so I wrote her a letter, letting them know that I'm not looking for anything as far as monetary, or I'm not trying to blame anybody. Things are the way they are, and she's very gracious. We did talk. In fact, we've talked numerous times since then, and she's been very gracious in sharing what she knows, her knowledge as to how I ended up where I ended up as a child. And then there's another sister who I've spoken to numerous times who was 12 years old when I was born. Now, my 20-year-old sister says that she was actually there when I was born, and my other sister, the next one underneath her, was there when I was given away. So they are definitely the keys to a lot of knowledge. And then I was able to talk and meet, at least online, so far, and through phone conversations, other brothers and sisters. So I have two older sisters. There's two others who are older yet, but they've passed away. And then I have, there's the two older ones that are still surviving, and then there's an older brother who's like 2 years older than me. Then there's me. Then there's a younger brother, and then there's a younger sister. So there are 6 of us, I think, that are still alive, and then 2 that have passed away. So I'm looking forward to seeing them in the very near future. Looking forward to flying to the East Coast, because I'm on the West Coast, and looking forward to doing all that, meeting them in person, and then going from there. And they've been very, very good about opening up their hearts and including me. And I like the fact that they don't consider me as a half brother. I am actually their brother, they say, because, well, we all came from the same mom. So that helps. So it's a nice racially mixed family, and different dads, but the most important thing is we all have the same mom, and we're really looking forward to meeting each other. And once the coronavirus is over, we're going to be out there. I'm going to fly out there and meet my brothers and sisters for the first time. I do not have the luxury of meeting my biological mother. She passed away back in 1986. But the real interesting part about this whole thing is the fact that we all lived in the same city. The city that I grew up in, they were there at the same time. In fact, my younger sister and my younger brother, we believe, we have reason to believe, because we're close in age, that we're at the same middle school around the same time. And then my older brother, I think he was there. I don't know if I was there during the same time he was there, but at least the three of us, we all went to the same middle school, and we think at some point we had crossed paths, but we didn't know we were related and had no clue. But yeah, at times we lived within 2 and 3 blocks apart. Now, I grew up in a city of about 80,000 people, and, well, it is what it is. We didn't know that we were related, and we probably played with each other and didn't know we were related. The names were different, so that happens. So that's pretty much the gist of that. So we've been in contact. We've been doing really good about keeping in contact over the past months, and we're really looking forward to meeting each other, and then basically going from there, and hanging out and having a good time. And so I'm going to put the word out. I'm sure that not too many people are watching this right now, but if you are and you have nothing else to do, I'll sit and chat. This gives me something to do during the coronavirus. I will put some information out there like, hey, stay safe, wear a mask, wear gloves when you're out there. Only go out when you absolutely have to, and we'll go from there. And I will go back and make some recordings in the future about whatever subjects are out there, but primarily it has to do with DNA. I know a little bit about it. I've taught a little bit about it because I've taught forensic science, and so we've give students information on how to use DNA in crimes, but and how beneficial it is. But as far as this whole thing with finding family and relatives, I've only been doing this for a year. I'm still a rookie at it, but it is so exciting. I'm trying to get a better mic to plug into my computer here, so I don't have to use this headset. I think it looks kind of corny, but I think it records at a much better level. So that's why I'm doing that. And I have another laptop set up, trying to use it as a well, try to use it in a sense like let's see, what do they call the word? When people on TV talk into the camera and they have they're scrolling their script. I was trying to see if I could do that on my computer, but it's not working too well, and I have to make the letters so large that but I think I'm going to work on it better. But as far as the DNA, when I got my DNA back, it told me that I was 21% Welsh and Northwestern European. I'm 21%. 20% Italian, 5% Germanic Europe, 8% French, 1% Norwegian, 16% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantu, 12% Nigerian, Benin in Togo, 6%, Ghana, 5%, Senegal, 4%, and 2% from Mali. That's my basically that's my DNA breakup. Okay. So I also did a posting on DNA Surprise, what I call it, DNA Surprise Facebook support group, which is really good. And I basically I did it where I talked about finding my biological mother, and that the woman that she was not. The interesting thing is there is in my name. Oh my God, it's opened up a whole can of worms. But anyway, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm thankful that my mother didn't give me an abort or didn't abort me. I was given the life or the prize of life, and it's and it's what I've done with it. I have said to students at times about life and living, and regardless of where their lot in life is, and because one thing that's really important is that we do not choose our race, our ethnicity. That is decided for us by our parents and their parents before them. And so what we do with that, because society throws so much stuff out there, what we do with that is really left up to us. Now, that up to a point we have no choice. We have to go with the flow because we're dependent on our parents for survival. But then at some point, I think we do make a choice. So there's a thing I always used to tell my students. I've been teaching for a number of years, and I tell them, I say that when you were created, there's the sperm and there's the egg, and the sperm is what's donated by the father, and it's there's a race. And if I have this right, the biology right, the sperm's all going down the tube trying to find an egg to fertilize, and then the one egg that gets sperm that gets to that egg starts to fertilize it, and it wins the race. Okay, and I believe the egg forms some kind of casing so that no other sperm can enter. I believe. Now, I could be wrong with that, so if there's any biologists out there want to tell me that, let me know, because I don't want to be giving out a lot of false information. We have enough of that going on already with certain people in government whose name I will not mention. But that being said, then you're born, and you have no choice. You weren't given a choice. Do I want to be white? Do I want to be black? Do I want to be Asian? Do I want to be South Asian? Or do I want to be blue eyes, blonde hair, Norwegian? You don't have that choice. So, but what you do once you become of age, and for some people younger or older, they make these decisions. What are you going to do with your life? How are you going to navigate through society and be successful and have, to be as stress-free as possible, and like I said, be successful in life? What level of education do you require to achieve your goals? You know, do you live in Western society? Are you in the Far East? Are you in the Southern Hemisphere? Whatever part of that's a societal structure you are of, that influences the type of person you're going to be. Okay, I'm rambling, but that being said, is like I said, this is my first attempt at doing this. Hopefully, I'll get better as we move along, and then I can let my friends see this. Now, this is a live stream. I can't see. I'm unable to see actually who's watching right now, but that's okay. I will. I will get that information later. I know that there's no data on the streaming, but I can check to see if anybody's watching. And apparently nobody's watching. I'm just out here on my own and streaming all by myself. So, oops. No, I'm still streaming. That's good. So, if you're just floating around and you're on YouTube and you want to hear somebody run their mouth, I can do this quite well. And I have the gift of gab. I kind of miss being in a classroom. We were teaching, and now we have to do everything online. So I will probably be, I think, be better if I record these and then post it, and then I can stream them, or at least put it so I can stream later, and then I can do a better job at presenting my story. So you'll hear this again, and next time I will when I post it, it will have been a much cleaner, and I'll probably have some editing as I learn how to use this program. I'm new to this, and also I've done a live stream straight to Facebook, so I'll be on there too, just to share with friends, and from there. Anyway, it was fun. I've been on here for a couple of minutes. I'm not sure how long it's been, but take care, be safe, wear a mask when you go outside, wear gloves, and wash your hands frequently. And I noticed that after I wash my hands, I have to go get some lotion because it tends to dry my hands out. Wash your face too. Don't forget to wash your face. I think that's important also, and try to keep from using putting your hands to your face. So I'm getting better, and I'm learning even at my age. You can still teach an old dog new tricks. So like I said, stay safe, and hope to talk to you soon. And it's been nice. All right, I think I'm going to try to get out of here in a little bit, and you guys take care. See you next time. still streaming. Okay. I need to get off of this. So let me get out of here. Let me go here.